All right, everyone. So this is going to be my placement presentation. My placement for the semester was Cohen Children's Medical Center. So some background and history about the Cohen's Children's Medical Center. So the center actually opened in 1983, and it was New York and Long Island's first hospital that was designed exclusively for children. And it's grown a lot. Today, Cohen is the largest provider of pediatric health services in New York State, and it serves about 1.8 million children in Brooklyn, Queens, Nassau, and Suffolk counties, and it has branches in all of those places. So, the mission of Cohen Children's Center is at our center, children see us differently because we approach them differently. We understand their needs, their emotions, their fears, and their wish to lead normal lives, to just be kids. That's why we've created a warm and bright environment to make every child stay with us as pleasant and comfortable as possible. Every aspect of our spacious open building was designed with kids and families in mind, from the fold-out beds for parents to the fully staffed playrooms on each floor. In this slide, I actually included some pictures so you guys can see what my placement looked like. The picture on the left is just a wing of the hospital, so you guys can get like a general understanding of like what the inside of the hospital looks like. And then the picture on the right is just going to be the main entrance of the building. So, as a children's medical provider, there are a lot of different services provided within this building itself. One of them being cardiology, developmental and behavioral pediatrics. That's the department that I was interning in particular, dental services, psychiatry, orthopedics, and neurology. And there's plenty more. These are just some of the main ones that I found on the website. It is like a large provider. They have so many services for children, and they're so well known like throughout Long Island and New York City. So some of the population served is obviously children. So children ages birth to 18 of all race, ethnicities, and socioeconomic backgrounds are served by Cohen's Children's Center. I couldn't necessarily find any information about demographics that were specific, but from what I can say about the department that I was interning in, I can't really speak on Cohen's as a whole because they do have a lot of branches throughout Long Island. They do have different locations, but from what I saw of the children in the group therapy sessions, it seemed like most of them were Caucasian, and I can't really make any other assumptions other than that, but it's still relatively like diverse, the populations that are served. So for my placement, the department that I was interning was the Division of Developmental and Behavioral Pediatrics, and I shadowed a clinical psychologist. So this division offers diagnosis and treatment services for children that have neurodevelopmental disorders and behavioral disorders, ages birth to adolescence, so even up until like 18. There's some college students that I have seen in the center. They provide evaluations as well as treatment methods such as individualized therapy, family based therapy, or social skills groups. So, some of the most common client concerns or challenges that I've seen within the population served by my placement have been autism spectrum disorder, attention deficit hyperactive disorder, also known as ADHD, oppositional defiant disorder, also known as ODD, speech language delays, or delays in motor milestones, which could mean like their motor abilities. They might require like an occupational therapist or physical therapist to work with them. So, in my time at my internship, I definitely noticed that the clinical psychologist that I was working with, he mainly specialized in ADHD, and a lot of his clients in particular um, suffered from ADHD. So I did notice the most common concern among the children was ADHD. ADHD is a disorder characterized by inattentiveness and hyperactive behavior. ADHD often begins in childhood and can persist into adulthood. Like I said, I did see a lot of college students in some group sessions and high school students as well. So it's something that continues into your late teens and adulthood. So it may contribute to low self esteem, troubled relationships, and difficulty at school or work. and some of the symptoms and warnings that I saw. And this is also, I found online, inattentiveness, hyperactivity, being unable to sit still, fidgeting and squirming, and interrupting others. So, as an intern of the Cohen's Medical Center, some of my tasks included supporting children and facilitating their social skills groups. So, I was able to sit in on them. I helped the clinical psychologist run any activities. I helped kids. Sometimes we would like break up into teams and play games. Also, helping create the curriculum for the groups. So, what to talk about with the kids to engage them and make sure they're learning healthy social skills. Other things are like filing, data entry, creating charts and files for new patients, as well as scoring and interpreting evaluations and assessments that were conducted. So I usually volunteered on Saturdays because I was busy throughout the week. So on Saturdays, the clinical psychologist has his group sessions. So his first group is the youngest kids, which is kindergarten to first grade. And then throughout the day, like the groups that come in are older by age. So it goes all the way up to college students. So during Saturdays, we sit in through the group sessions. I make any observations that could potentially help the clinical psychologist and the parents. And I also do medical charts for patients, filing old paperwork, helping the clinical psychologist archive and manage and organize all this paperwork, as well as reviewing medical charts for any missing information. So, although my placement was cut short just like everyone else's, it did give me a great experience. I was able to gain hands on experience working with a clinical psychologist, and it was great because I was able to work with kids. I was able to gain more facilitation skills and communication skills through the social skills groups. I was also able to build relationships with the children. Throughout the weeks, they would start opening up more and having more fun with me. So that was definitely like a great experience. My favorite task while being in my internship was definitely the group therapy sessions. And it's also just been a great experience to add to my resume and grad school applications. So, just like anything else at this time, my placement was definitely affected by COVID-19 and the outbreak. So, the department definitely canceled all in person therapy sessions, especially group therapy sessions, because in a group of more than 10 kids, there's definitely like a high risk for transmission, especially because the parents come in as well to escort their kids. So then that means like we have parents, we have kids, we have the interns and all those people that could lead to transmission of the virus, which definitely nobody wanted. So they had to cancel group therapy sessions for until further notice. Children were able to receive or are still able to receive their individual therapy remotely. So they could do like Skype therapy or therapy on the phone with their therapist. But as children with ADHD or autism, they definitely need the most help in communicating with other kids. And those group sessions definitely facilitated that much better. So although they can have their therapy done individual with the therapist, the services that they really need they can't have right now because those group sessions can't really be done and they don't take away as much if it's done remotely. And a lot of these children also do not have school at the moment, like their schools are closed, they're receiving their education online. So this is further limiting their social interactions and it's affecting more than likely their ability to learn social skills because they don't have those face-to-face interactions anymore. So it's definitely very hard on parents as well. I can imagine like they were probably seeing a lot of progress with these social skills groups and now like all the socialization has been taken away from their children. Overall, though it has been a great experience, I was very upset that it was shut down because of the coronavirus and I didn't get to finish the experience. And I also definitely feel for like the parents and the children. They won't be receiving the services that they need in the manner that they need it. But hopefully, this will all end soon and they can resume getting the help that they need and resume their education in person as well.